And I've been playing Nanga Parbat online too, which is a Steve Finn game, 2-player, really, really good little game. It was one of the ones that he had as his Kickstarter for 2020, and I think he still has more that are available in the Kickstarter edition that you might be able to order through his website. But a very cool little game, a 2-player game where the conceit is that you're exploring a mountain. You're going up the mountain and down the mountain, and you have a guide, and you're collecting animals along the way. You could be either trapping them or feeding or furs or what have you, but you're doing some set collection. And the clever part of it is how you move around the mountain. It's a triangular mountain, but that triangle is divided into 1 triangle at the top with 2 triangles underneath in the middle and 3 at the base. And each of those triangles mimics the same 3 at the bottom, 2 in the middle, 1 at the top heading. So when you play in one of those triangles, the animal that you collect, the spot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, dictates which of the next big triangles you go to. So it's kind of like I was telling you, BJ and Alex, the other night, if you've ever played like a super tic-tac-toe game where there's a tic-tac-toe board inside of every one of the quadrants and it dictates where you travel to next, it's very much like that. You're putting down hikers, you're redeeming them to maybe if you get a big contiguous group of hikers, you can turn them in for a campsite. But each time somebody else claims that, they have to go either lower to get points or higher to get points. You've taken up spots along the scoring track that are eating up good places. It does not outstay its welcome. It is real tight, real snappy. And as we were saying the other night, I know Steve and I love Steve's stuff. I think this is his best.
Really?
I really do think it's his best.
Nice.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this one. I love your idea that it's sort of like that super tic-tac-toe. Mm-hmm. What I really like, my favorite part of the mechanic is the decision as to, especially if you have the brown bear, where you can move them to the place they don't want to be. Right. And you know that you're getting it back wherever you want because you're just going to use your brown bear. That is super delicious. Verla, you played Nanga Parbat?
I haven't yet. I need to get on there. Is it 2-player only?
It's two-player.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a good 2-player.
Your
there's
mom is
strategy in it,
right
but
now.
It is very tactical. You have to really, when you move, you're giving the next player control over the board. And you want to move them into places where they can't make connections, where they can't get the animals they want, and they'll have to, or if they want the animal that's there, they're going to send you right back to where you need to go. It's
Steve,
a couple of
do you have
ahead.
A strategy? Do you have a favorite animal? As any one of them you think, John Newman has an idea that 1 or 2 of the animals make a pretty good combination. I want to see if you pick up on that. I do like
the animal that will let you flip-flop hikers.
Yes.
Because if you have, you could have somebody who's positioning themselves between your hikers, trying to keep you from connecting them together. And when you have to have contiguous hikers to redeem them for campsites. But if you can do that movement of flipping their hiker that's in the way with one of yours, and all of a sudden you create a longer island, that seems pretty powerful to me.
What's the gray one do? Do you remember?
The gray one, I actually have a game that I'm playing with Luke open right now. I can hover over it and tell you. That lets you switch any 2 animals anywhere on the board. That can be useful, especially if you want to be kind of, if you're doing set collection, you want to keep somebody from getting what they need to complete their 6 of a kind animals.
Just keep moving it.
Just keep moving it around. And we actually have debated how much is it good to get out in front versus play from behind, because that red panda, whenever you take the red panda, if you're in tied or behind the person, it's just a free point. Just a free point each time.
Is that Dr. Finn's way of a catch-up mechanic?
It seems like it could be, but I actually think Luke just in the last game, I thought I was running away with it, and then he just pipped me at the end with the very last move and strung them together and beat me 30-29. And at the same time, but yeah, good game. A game that makes you happy to have played it when you've lost. And you want to, let's fire it back up again. Put them back out there.
Those are the best.
That's a really good game. It is super strong.
Verla, Steve Finn was on. Oh, I forgot to put you up. Steve Finn was on the show, and when he described the 4 games that are out on that Kickstarter that just finished, right, about a week or 2 ago.
Yeah, I think so.
A couple weeks ago.
It's been a while. Yeah. This is the one that caught my eye. I was like, I really like the way he was describing it. And then now getting to play it, it's like, oh wow, this is a game. Doesn't take long apparently. Although when we play it online turn by turn, it's going to take 3 days. But,
Right.
but it seems like if you were playing it live, Steve, I bet you could knock this thing out in 20 minutes.
I think you're right. Or if you were playing together online and you were really taking your moves back and forth, probably less because it's doing all of the accounting for you.
If you're playing on BGA, yeah.
If you're playing it on BGA and you have somebody live with you rather than doing asynchronous turn taking, you could probably be done with this game in maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah. Beauty of BGA, games that take 45 minutes only take 20 on BGA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is weird because Tabletopia and Tabletop Simulator seem to stretch out the time of games.
Agreed.
Oh my goodness.
Agreed. I think Steve still has more of these available even after the Kickstarter. They might be on his site, and I think it was around 28, all done and dusted. So if there's a link to that, and we can throw that in there. If we have anybody who's still with us after the fiasco of earlier,
hey,
it is
We've
worth looking.
got 8 people up still. Oh, just went down to 7.
Mike Henson is checking in. Hey, Mike, thank you. He says, y'all be safe down there. We're crossing our fingers. Yeah. Kirk says, animals and hiking, you have to check this out. Yeah, Kirk, this is right up your alley. And again, think about Kirk. Kirk is the one that teaches English in Asia. I apologize, Kirk. I just can't remember which country it is. But he's always hiking out there. Just beautiful, beautiful hiking. But he uses games as a way to teach English to those people. So he's teaching English as a second language. This is the perfect game for it. You're going one-on-one with someone. You're explaining the different animals and what they do. So you're talking a lot about movement and, to me, simple English commands that people can learn. So
turn-taking directions. Yeah, absolutely.
Patrick Newman says he backed Nanga Parbat and Mining Colonies. I tell you, out of the 4 that he did, Nanga Parbat, I'm so happy I backed it because I think playing on BGA so far with Kelly has been fun. But I really can't wait to put it on the table. I think it's
nice. and if it looks good with the little wooden meeples, that should really pop on the table too. It's a small game. It's not going to take up a big footprint, I don't think, on the table. But those little meeples are going to be an attention grabber.
Hey,